Hi, and welcome to Epic Restorationz. Today, we finally reached the finish line. Today is the day that we connect the lady in red with her brand new Mitchell transmission and Overdrive. It's been a journey of teardowns and preparation, but in this episode, we're putting it all together. And if everything goes according to plan, taking her out for a spin to see just what these new gears can really do. So grab your tools, roll up your sleeves, and let's get to work. Before this transmission goes into the car, we have a little bench work to take care of. And first up is greasing the U-joint. Before we slide the transmission back into place, we need to take a look at the universal joint. It's much easier to get this dialed in right here on the bench than it is to wrestle with it while crawling around underneath the chassis later. A well-lubricated U-joint is the secret to a smooth ride, and it's cheap insurance against premature wear. And for this job today, we're using a high-quality N Tacky grease.
I use the N Tacky grease, which I have a tube for my grease gun. It's just a lot easier to use this bulk and pack it in there, so here we go.
The key here is to be thorough. We're packing the grease into every nook and cranny of the housing. There's really no such thing as too much in here. You want the whole chamber filled. It's a messy job, but it's one you don't want to skimp on. We'll give it a few rotations as we go, making sure the grease is worked deep into the crevices and ensuring that we've got a good solid pack before we reattach the clamshell.
Yeah, there's no clean way to do this.
Now that the U-joint is packed and ready, we need to ensure everything stays sealed and grit-free. We're starting with a fresh paper gasket right on top of the U-joint cover. Just align the bolt holes and lay it flat. This is your primary line of defense against leaks. With the gasket seated, go ahead and slide the cover over the top of the freshly packed U-joint. You want a snug fit here to keep the grease exactly where it belongs. We'll attach a couple of bolts temporarily just to keep this all together while we prep our other parts. Next, we're moving over to the clamshell. We've got two sections here, and both need new felts. Tuck these into the grooves carefully. These felts act as the final wiper seal, prepping the clamshell for the moment that we finally bridge the gap and connect the drive shaft to the U-joint. Now, you might find, like we did, that these new felts come a little long from the factory. Don't try to force them or let them bunch up. They're designed to be trimmed for a perfect flush fit. Using a razor blade and a little bit of patience, George trimmed off the excess felt from each of the inserts. It's a small detail, but taking those few extra seconds ensures the clamshell halves seat perfectly against one another without any gaps.
Okay, so when they come together, they're pretty tight. That keeps that grease in on this part. Remember, the bell on the torque tube is over top of this, but inside of this. And that's what this clamp is for, is to clamp that torque tube tightly to the transmission. Suspension goes up and down. It's allowed to move, just like the U-joint does.
The last piece of the puzzle is a fresh layer of grease on the end of the drive shaft. This ensures everything slides together smoothly when we made it to the U-joint and provides that final bit of lubrication where it counts.
While we have everything apart, we're taking a page right out of the Mitchell installation guide. One of their most frequent troubleshooting tips concerns a common grinding noise, and the fix is surprisingly simple. Mitchell suggests drilling out the 6 holes on the bottom of the shift tower with an 11/32 bit. Over time, lock washers can leave behind burrs that prevent the tower from sitting perfectly. By clearing those out now, we ensure that the tower can slide fully forward into its ideal position, killing that potential grinding noise before it even starts. We aren't actually experiencing the noise yet, but we're doing this as a preventative measure. It's a lot easier to spend 2 minutes with a drill bit now than it is to tear the whole assembly back down later, if that chatter shows up on a test drive. And with that taken care of, it was time to put the transmission back on the car. Now, you'll notice the cinematography gets a little sparse for this part. That's because this isn't a one-man job. It's a full contact 2-man wrestling match. Between the weight of the unit and the precision needed to line everything up, we had to trade the camera for some extra muscle. We chose manhandling the transmission into place over getting the perfect shot. With the transmission finally nested in place, we started the bolting process. This isn't a tighten one and move on kind of job. It's all about finesse. We took it slow, working our way around the housing, being careful to apply even pressure all the way around.
Okay. The next one
You
here.
got that one.
With the transmission finally secured, we started the big push to get the rest of the chassis back together. We worked our way through the checklist, reattaching the radius rod, and getting the clutch and brake pedals linked back up and dialed in. Next up is the fluid, and this is a critical step. If you're used to reaching for the heavy 600W gear oil, stop right there. The Mitchell Synchronized transmission needs a modern 85 140 weight gear oil. You can run synthetic or petroleum based, but that GL5 rating is a must to keep these new synchros shifting smoothly.
Almost there. Then I can check it with a dipstick here too.
With the transmission fluid topped off, we attached the shift tower, and once the overdrive was attached, we attached that shifter as well. Finally, we tackled the rear end and overdrive assembly. Once again, this was an all-hands-on-deck struggle that left no one free to man the camera. But in the end, we got it connected, bolted down, and finally had the car back together again. With the drivetrain officially assembled, that means we've arrived at the moment of truth, getting the Lady in Red out of the shop and onto the road for its first ever test drive with its brand new Mitchell transmission and overdrive. There's nothing quite like the West Michigan countryside on a day like this. But what's even better is how the Lady in Red is handling these roads. Upgrading to the Mitchell setup is a total transformation. It gives you that modern, effortless shifting feel, while keeping the vintage soul of the car exactly where it belongs. The real magic starts with the synchronized transmission. We've officially moved past the crash box era. Because second and third gear are now synchronized, the days of the perfectly timed double clutching dance are over. We can shift up or down at any speed without even a hint of a grind. We opted for the 15% higher gear ratio in second gear, and let me tell you, for these rolling hills and the occasional parade, it's perfect. It bridges that gap between gears beautifully, making the car feel much more capable and confident in today's traffic. Plus, because it's built with modern precision, that classic straight cut gear howl is gone. It's a much quieter, more refined ride.
See, it's running so much better. It's pulling 50 on here going uphill. I'm still in low, not in overdrive here. It just sounds so much better. I'm in overdrive.
But while the transmission improves how we get moving, the Mitchell Overdrive changes where we can go. At cruising speeds, we're seeing a 26% reduction in RPMs. That means we can sit comfortably at 50 to 60 miles per hour without feeling like we're over-revving the engine. It's saving the Babbitt bearings, improving our fuel economy, and just giving the whole engine a longer lease on life. And since the Overdrive is synchronized too, we can engage it in any gear. It effectively turns the 3-speed into a 6-speed. The best part though, since Mitchell builds everything into a standard Model A case, the car looks 100% authentic from the outside. It's truly the best of both worlds, 1930s style with 2026 drivability.
With a successful test drive under our belt, we're ready to close out this series. It's time to get out there, enjoy another season of car shows, cruises, and tours with the Lady in Red. Join us next time as we bring you more tips and information on how to maintain and enjoy your Ford Model A on the next episode of Epic Restoration.